everybody with me on this? All right, so these are the solutions for the first worksheet. So tonight, if you just want to check your answers, because the solutions are not posted. The solutions are not going to be posted because I have all the answers worked out for you. All right, so you can go tonight and pause that and then double check your work on that. Is everybody good with that understanding? All right, now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and move into this area right here. We're going to do the second worksheet. And again, you guys, this should be really easy, especially if you're used to solving equations. If you're good at solving equations, this is very easy. Welcome, Michael. Come on, grab a seat real quick, please. All right, and try to remember, guys, I honestly, I prefer that you come down here for snack. Come to my room, all right, for snack, so we can kind of hang out here and then get started as quickly as we can. I don't have to wait on people. I don't think you'll need your calculator today. All right, I also have some parents who are kind of upset. Everything's been sold out or whatever. Guys, we have another week or two before we start doing graphing. All right, so you got lots of time. Don't be upset about it. All right, just get your calculator as soon as you can. All right. Now, is everybody in Notability? Mr. Osborne, you in Notability now? Michael, do you know how to get yourself in Notability?
Yes.
All right, let's go. We're on section 2-8. Section 2-8. Okay, now let me go over this worksheet and show you how simple it is. All right. So we are essentially solving for t. So what I want to do is, first I want to highlight t because that's what we're trying to find the value of. All right. Which means what's in the way? 7. All right. And that means 7 times t. How do we undo multiplication?
Divide.
You're dividing. Right. So essentially all you're doing is you're taking this and dividing both sides by 7. So they just want you to tell me that t is equal to what? X divided by 7, or x over 7. That is correct. All right, t is equal to x over 7. Now, does everybody agree how simple that is, right? Now, the difference between this week and last week is this week we came out to x equal a number. This week, you can have solutions that involve variables. All right, does anybody have any questions so far? I told you it's going to be very easy. All right, now let's take a look at question number 2. So I'm solving for p. So I like to highlight what I'm solving for. So somebody tell me what p is equal to. Gavin, good for you. What does p equal?
W over P.
Somebody help him. What does p equal? Go, Dalton.
W over R.
Somebody else help him.
Oh.
What?
R over W.
R over W. Thank you very much. All right. Now let's say we don't know that. All right. So look right here, guys. P is equal to R over W. Now I need everybody to pay attention here real quick, please. All right, because it looks like I have to show you a little bit more work. I'm trying to isolate the P. Does everybody agree that W is in the way?
Yeah. So.
That's multiplication, right? So I divide both sides by W. Everybody good? So P is equal to R over W. Because what happens? These two things cross out. Everybody good? All right, let's see if we can do number 3. This time we're solving for R. Now I want everybody to pay close attention to that right there. That's minus R, right? So I have to group them together, correct? So the first thing I would do is, what do you think?
You highlight R.
Yep, we can highlight R. All right, now notice over here too, I should have highlighted both of them. All right, so does anybody know what I have to do? What do you think?
You have to add the Q.
No, I want to add the Q. I want to
Add the R.
add the R, right? Because I want to combine the R's. So look right here, what I'm going to show you now. All right, I'm going to put a plus R here and a plus R here. Now what happens to these R's right here? What do they do to each other?
Cancel each
They
other.
cancel out, right? So then Q right now is equal to what? Q is equal to 2R. Now I still have to isolate the R, right? So now what do I have to do to both sides?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. Beautiful. So here we go. We're going to divide by 2. And when we do that, R now is equal to what? Q over 2. Yes, ma'am.
Where did you get the 2 from?
Okay, watch this. Ready? 1R plus 1R. There you go. 2R. Right? Good questions. It's so important that you're asking before I get to question 10.
Why do you want to add
Well, because in order to solve for R, we have to group the R's together. You remember when we had solve for X, we have to combine all the X's before we can solve for X. You with me? All right. Here we go now. Let's check out question number 4. All right. Now, I'm highlighting the M's because we're trying to solve for M, which means I have to group them together. Everybody good? So, what do you think I should do?
I think you should isolate the M that's next to 4.
So how would I do that?
You would do 4 divided by M.
Now, wait a minute now. Listen, here's where you might need to make yourself a note. If the variable that you're solving for is written more than once, you got to put them together. Everybody with me on this? Does everybody see how the M's are written twice? Do you agree? So I'm going to group them together by doing minus 4M and minus 4M. Right? Now they're together. Do you agree? All right, so when I do that, what happens to the 4M and the negative 4M? They cross out, right? But you're right, whoever said negative 3M. That was very good. Now, here's where most people make a mistake. They forget that the T is what?
Negative.
So negative T is equal to what, guys? Negative 3M. Is everybody understanding that?
Oh,
Well, yes, sir. Hold on.
Where are you getting negative 3?
Okay, same way we got 2, right? We're doing 1 minus 4,
Oh.
right? 1 minus 4, negative 3. You good? All right, now I'm going to put it right over here just so we can see. So negative T equals negative 3M. Does everybody agree when both sides are negative, the answer is really just what? Right, so I want you to get in the habit of doing this. I could just cross that out, cross that out. Does everybody agree? Now, I'm trying to isolate the M. So if I'm still trying to isolate the M, I need to divide by 3. Very, very good. Divide both sides by 3. So M is equal to what?
T over 3.
T over 3, guys. Very, very nice. T over 3. Now what you're trying to do now is, on the next problem, you're trying to get started without me. All right? Try to get started without me. So I'm on question number 5. All right, someone give me a shot. What do I do? Thank you, Patrick.
Subtract 7.
You are awesome. Subtract 7A. Subtract 7A. So what are we left with?
8.
Good. What does 8A equal? Beautiful. Right? And now again, we're solving for A. So don't forget, that tells me, what am I dividing by?
8.
Yes, very good, guys. So I would want everybody to be able to say A is equal to negative B over 8. Everybody feeling good about that? All right, let's see what you can do on number 6. All right, somebody want to tell me about number 6. Charlotte?
So they're gonna add 5c to -5 and then add 5c to 2c.
Exactly.
D equals 7c divided by 7. C equals d divided by 7.
Wow, that is exactly correct. Anybody have any issues? Everybody's feeling good about that, right? All right. Hopefully you like notability.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like notability too. All right, here we go. Okay, now we have 7. Everybody needs to put a star by number 7. All right, a little bit harder. I have to isolate the y. So now, what do I have to move first? What do I have to move first? Hubble, what do you think? Very smart. I have to move the x, Hubble. Now, how do I move the x to the other side, though? Right? On this side, the x is, on this side, the x is positive, right? So on the other side, it's going to be what? That's right. So I'd want everybody to write this down. Negative 2y equals negative x plus 1. Now, can I combine the x and the 1? No, I cannot combine the x and 1 because they're different. If they were x's, we can combine them. But they're not x's, so we cannot. Is everybody good with this? All right. So now, Hubble, what do you think I have to do? Yes. Divide by.
2.
Divide by.
Negative.
Yes, divide by -2. All right. Now watch. When I divide by -2, that does what? These guys now what? Now listen to me. I need you to be careful. This whole quantity has to be divided by -2. So y is equal to negative x plus 1 divided by -2. Is everybody okay with that? Now I need everybody to be real smart with me. Look up, look up, look up. I don't like the negative on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by -1. It's not something you have to do, but you may have it written a little bit different than me. And you might think you're incorrect. Well, you might have the same answer, but written differently. Does everybody agree with that? So if that's the case, when I distribute that -1, it's really going to be x minus 1 over 2. Does everybody agree with this? X minus 1 over 2. Everybody comfortable with that? All right, those are the same, essentially. Do you agree? All right, those are exactly the same. Now, I want to see if you agree with me on this. So look up, look up, look up. Is that the same?
Yes.
Yeah. Notice if I switch the order, the 1 is still negative and the x is still what? Right. So can you have it written like that?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to impress upon you to make sure you understand is all of these answers are what? Are correct. And they are exactly what? They are exactly the same. Sometimes they don't look the same, but guess what? They are the same. All right. Is everybody good with this? All right. So here we go. Should be getting better now. Number 8. Now look. Now is the time for those of you guys who are a little bit nervous. Don't be nervous. Speak up. Help me out. All right? All right, Virginia, we'll let you do this one. What do I have to do?
You highlight
All right? We're going to highlight the n, right? Because that's what we're solving for. So what do I have to do first? Now look right over here. Look back here. Now, dividing by 3 would be what a lot of people think is first. But remember, we always have to undo the addition and subtraction first. You with me? So over here, I wouldn't divide first, I would do what first? Yes. Very good. We're going to subtract D. Subtract D. Now I have 3n is equal to 1 minus D. Now I do what? Remember, we're still solving for n, kiddo. Now you divide by 3. All right? Now we're going to divide by 3 because they cancel. So n is equal to 1 minus D divided by 3. We're good about that?
Yeah.
All right? Is everybody good? Now look, remember what I'm saying. It's a little bit harder as we're going, so it's not going to get easier. So if I can help you, you got to let me know. All right, let's move forward. All right, number 9. Tell me what to do.
You have to take away the G.
Subtract G, very good.
So then it would be 7x equals G minus 5.
Equals what?
5 minus G.
5 minus G, very good. And now what? Sorry.
And then you would do, you have to cancel out the 7 with the F, so you do or divided by 7.
Exactly.
And then it's F equals 5 minus G equals 7.
Beautiful. We're getting the hang of that? All right. Gavin, did you want to try 10 now, buddy? What am I going to do?
So you're gonna add C.
Add C, good. So AX is equal to what?
B plus C.
You're awesome. B plus C.
And then you divide by X.
What do we so?
By A.
Yes, divide by A. So X is equal to?
So then X equals B over A. I mean, B plus C over A.
Good. Any questions? Yes.
So you add the C to both sides?
Yes. Right, because we're undoing subtraction.
Yes.
All right. All right, Dalton, try number 11.
So would you plus the 2n?
Plus the 2n, exactly. So RT is equal to.
So RT equals 2n plus 1.
Now, again, somebody asked me this earlier. When you're doing things, generally you try to write things in alphabetical order. Does everybody agree with that? All right, that's the way there seems to be some type of consistency. All right, also, if you have a positive and a negative, generally you put the positive and then the negative. All right, but would I ever mark it wrong if you have it out of order? No, this is the same answer. All right, so finally, what do I need to do?
So 2n plus 1.
So, now what?
Oh.
I'm solving for T, remember?
So divided by 1.
That's right. So T is equal to?
2n plus 1.
Yes. I like it. Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you divide by 2 when you did n plus 1?
Okay, so listen. So your objective is to solve for T, right?
Yeah.
So I have to isolate the T. So that means I have to move the negative 2n out of the way.
Yeah, I understand that. I just don't understand why you kept it as negative 2n instead of dividing that 2.
For this reason. Let's look at this. If I said x minus 5 equals 7, what would I do? So how would I solve that? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, you would add
That's exactly correct. And that's exactly what I'm doing here.
Okay.
I'm adding 2 to both sides. You agree with me?
Yeah.
Now the hard part is for kids to take this simple and apply it to the harder. You understand what I mean, right? The fact that I have solving for this, I have to eliminate the negative 2y first by pushing it over to the other side. With me? All right? All right, here we go. Michael, you want to try number 12?
Yes.
What do I do?
You subtract 3g.
Beautiful. So BC is equal to?
3g. I mean 2k minus 3g.
Yes. And now what?
Then you divide by c. Or b. Sorry.
B. Don't be sorry. So C is equal to?
C is equal to 2k minus 3
All over?
over b.
Exactly correct. I feel like you guys should be good with that. What?
How do you know that you're trying to solve for C and not G?
Because I read the problem.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right. It'll tell you what variable to solve for. Because you can solve for B, you can solve for C, you can solve for G, you can solve for K. All right? They have to tell you. All right? What do you think?
So, oh, okay.
Good read? Sure? All right, let's take a look at 13. Solving for n. Tell me.
So minus 4f.
Good?
Kn equals 9b minus 4f.
Beautiful. Now what?
Divided by k divided by k is 9b minus 4f.
Easy. All right. Who else wants to give it a shot? Who else hasn't said something today? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you do so it would be 5 minus 6 equals 8c. And then
Okay, hold on. So 8c equals, tell me again.
5p minus 6j.
Beautiful. Now what?
And then divided by 8 and divided by 8. That would be 5p minus 6j.
Exactly correct. Exactly. All right. Totally happy with that. Mr. Osborne,
What?
you want to help me out with 15?
Sure.
Now listen, put a star by 15 because it's new. All right. So what's in the way on this one, do you think? What do you think I have to do first?
Highlight the answers.
Right.
I think you will do.
What are you thinking, buddy?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Come on, give it a shot. So I want you to read that to me. That says x minus c divided by 2.
So you're
Let's take a shot at it. Might be wrong even. That's okay. I'm trying to get to x.
did you do
You're exactly correct. I told you. Multiply by 2. Now, the reason why we multiply by 2 first this time is because I have to get rid of, that's a whole quantity that's being divided by 2. Bear with me. So to do that, I have to multiply both sides by 2. All right? So he did perfect. So now x minus c equals 2d.
Yep.
All right, finish it off. So what does x equal?
x equals 2d under z?
Wait a minute now. 2d what?
Oh, 2d.
Now, what does that c on the left side? Isn't it?
Oh, negative.
So we would do,
Divided by negative.
nope. They're not attached by multiplication. They're attached with subtraction.
Oh, so you would add it.
That is correct.
So 2
No. How do I get rid of this?
You add it.
That's right. That's why that's the answer.
Okay.
Now double check that and make sure you understand what I just did, right? Because it's a minus c. Does everybody agree? So to get rid of a minus c, I have to do what? Plus c. Everybody good? Yes.
I'm confused how when you did times 2 to the x minus c, why you didn't like distribute.
Well, because I wanted to eliminate the 2. So this 2 divided by this 2 cancels, which is what we wanted. Which is what we wanted.
16 is the exact same.
No, it's c instead of x.
It's pretty much the same.
Oh.
Well, actually, no, that's very good, right? So it does look exactly the same. That's why you have to be careful when you take your test and solve for the right variable. All right? So this time I have to solve for c. Does that change what I have to do with divided by 2?
No.
No. So right off the bat, you should be able to tell me that it is x minus c is still what?
2d.
X minus c is still 2d. So everybody good with this? Now I'm solving for c, right? Now there's lots of issues here. The first thing I need to do is get rid of the what?
X.
The x. Now the x on the left side, is that positive or negative?
Positive.
So if I move to the other side, it will be,
Negative.
so I want everybody to be able to tell me negative c is equal to 2d minus x. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
All right, now you should put a little note to yourself. All right, so again, very important step right here. This right here is -1. So what that means, how I want you to remember, is that that just means to change all signs. Change all signs. Essentially what you're doing is you're multiplying everything through by -1. When you multiply everything through by -1, that just does what? Just changes the signs. All right? So to multiply everything through by -1, I end up with c equals -2d plus x. Everybody good with that? All right. I'm feeling good. All right. Let's check out 17. We have 2 more to go. All right, 417 now. How do I get rid of divided by 5?
Multiply by 5?
Tell me, times 5. So we're going to have p plus 9 equals what?
5r.
5r. Now what?
Now you take minus the 9.
Minus the 9. So p is equal to 5r minus 9. P equals 5r minus 9. Any issues? Yes, sir.
How did it become 5 on?
Because I multiplied both sides by 5. And then what happened here? See what I mean? And 5 times r is 5r. All right, here we go, guys. Take a look at 18 now. What are we thinking?
So you have to do times 7
Yep.
on both sides.
Perfect. So tell me.
Equals, or so it'll be 7a equals 7a equals b minus 4z.
Beautiful so far.
Z equals 7a.
Yep, it doesn't matter the order. And finally,
Then you have to do plus 4 on each side.
Plus
4z on each side.
yes.
And then that's 7a equals 7a. B equals 7a plus 4z.
That's how simple it is. All right. Anybody have any questions with that? All right.
Oh, so
Yes, sir.
it's. Oh, I see it. Well, no, because it says 4 times is the way to do divide
Well, now listen to me. Listen. Hey, he's bringing up a good question, so here we go. Listen. These two things are attached by subtraction. So to undo subtraction, I need to do what? Add.
Oh, I get it.
You with me?
Yeah.
Right? Or is everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right, now look. Some of them are easy, some are a little bit trickier. Some you need a little bit more practice on. Right? But you took good notes, hopefully. All right, if you're still having issues, you can listen again tonight. Right? But now, I want you to try, and some of you are pretty good. You might be able to get through 1 through 14 real quick. All right, is everybody with me? All right, so try to get your homework done. It's not a big deal. And then tomorrow and Wednesday, we're reviewing for a test that's on what? Thursday. Perfect, guys. All right, good job today. Very good.